Hey guys, Mike Dynie here, and welcome to this foundational class on backbending. So this class is for everybody from the beginner to the more intermediate student to the teacher who's looking for a different perspective on how backbending could work. For this class, you'll need 2 blocks and a yoga strap. Today we're going to look at all types of postures with an emphasis on the things that make backbends work really well. There's different types of backbends. There's some where our hands are below shoulder height, where we can really roll the shoulders up and back and squeeze the shoulder blades and lift the heart. And then the others are where the arms are in the overhead range, called shoulder flexion. So full wheel is one example. There's also king pigeon and other variations of pigeon that are found in the Ashtanga second series. And so those involve a bit more of a complex action because we can't really squeeze the shoulder blades in the overhead range. We actually spread the shoulder blades and then go way back. So we'll look at a lot of postures that involve that. The other aspect of backbending is obviously in the lower section of the spine, everything below the belt. So generally speaking in backbends, we try to avoid splaying the legs out. A little bit is okay, but we're generally working with the movement of internal rotation. Not to the point of going in like that, but a movement in that direction to neutral. And many people actually spend their whole lives in a bit of external rotation, and they end up actually using their inner thigh muscles to walk around. And so you can imagine the kind of dysfunction that can create in the lower back and in the hip joint. So I think that's one of the reasons why there's so much emphasis on internal rotation. But we really want to work with neutral and the ability to be really strong in that neutral position. So you could stand on one leg without really changing a whole lot about how you are positioned. And then we train both legs to activate that way as we do back bends. And when it's done just right, the muscles around the back of the legs will give you support for your pelvis and your lower back so that you won't feel any type of compressive pain at all. Back bends really shouldn't hurt. You know, even if you have great technique, there will be the odd day where it does hurt a little bit, but generally speaking, we're working towards pain-free back bending. So we'll get started in just a second. I'm just going to check out the comments there in the video. Oh, you're in France, so the timing might be a bit more difficult. Okay, right on. Thanks, Christophe. Cool. So let's get started, shall we? We'll come into standing to begin, samastitihi. Standing with your feet underneath your sitting bones. In other words, feet hip width. And then lift and spread all of your toes. And play with shifting the weight forward a little bit, lifting your heels up. Notice the engagement in the back of the thighs, and then lower your heels down. And repeat that, going at your own pace. The idea is to try and go pretty slow. And that connection through the ball of the foot and the calf is part of what we use in really good back bends to stay connected to the muscles in the back of our legs. Now we'll keep the feet on the ground, actively spread the toes, and then bend your knees. Let your knees come out a little bit like a squat, and then push off your heels to stand up. Again, bend your knees, you can stick out the bum, take the shoulders forward to activate the core, and then push off the heels to stand up. And we'll do a few more like that. And so I'm not going all the way down to my squat, I'm going like just a little bit away from full range, so I'm staying really strong in my legs and pelvic floor. And last one. Great. And then we'll bring that sort of leg strength of the inner spiral into our mountain with some tone in the back of the legs. And with your arms by your sides, take an inhale, opening the arms out like wings. Squeeze between shoulder blades to open the chest. And then as you exhale, come back to mountain pose. And repeat that. Inhaling, go out to the sides, opening your chest up. And then exhale, come back to mountain pose. So as you open the arms on the inhale, you might find a bit more of a curve in the lower back. And that's fine, but try to create tone in the back of your legs to prevent excessive curve. So we'll hold the next one for a little while. Spread the arms like wings, engaging upper back. And we're trying to bring the arms as far back as we can, keeping the elbows straight. Tension the core. Engage the backs of the thighs, starting to press your hips forward. But one important note, as you push the hips forward, avoid squeezing the butt together. Work with the inward rotation so that when the buttocks do contract, you're recruiting the smaller glute muscles more. And then relax down. Very good. And we'll roll the shoulders up and back, make some nice circles. Big circular movements. And what I love about this movement is that we're getting the shoulders moving, but we're really mobilizing the shoulder blades against the back of the rib cage. And that's really one of the keys to bringing the back bend more into the thoracic region, the upper spine, is looping the shoulders up and back. And then bring your awareness into your mountain pose, so shoulders up and back. With an inhale, spread the arms, and then reach forwards just above eye level. Exhale, arms at sides, mountain pose, and repeat. Inhale, spread the arms straight out if you can, and then exhale, reach forwards, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, mountain pose. Again, inhale, spread the arms, reaching forwards. Exhale, spread the arms, and come down. And we'll carry that through a full sun salute. Inhale, spread the arms. And as you exhale, spread again. Fold at your hip by bending the knees, hands to your shins, or touch the floor. Inhale, push off the fingers to lift the heart halfway. Exhale, step to plank pose. Hold the plank. Feet hip width, shoulders over the hands. Take a breath in. Now as you exhale, bend your elbows and come forwards a little bit. And then go back to high plank. And repeat 3 more times. Send the elbows back, heart forward. There can be a little bit of effort to hug the elbows in. But we can also allow the elbows to go out to the sides a little, slightly off the rib cage. Last one. Lower your knees and lower your hips. And then we'll meet in Sphinx pose, taking the forearms to the floor underneath the shoulders. And try to pull back with your arms, lifting the heart up. So this is that same idea of looping the shoulders up and back, encouraging the rib cage or the thoracic spine to get more involved with the back bend. The lower back is naturally really flexible in a lot of people, so that's not really where our focus is. Our focus is on stabilizing the lower back by using the muscles in the back of our legs and in our core. And instead, we're trying to mobilize the upper back. So let's do those same shoulder loops with the hands on the floor where your elbows were. And then we're going to lift the shoulders and loop up and back. Lower the heart, lift the shoulders, and loop. I like to actually bring my shoulders up to my ears and then draw the shoulder blades closer. So it's really encouraging your rib cage to get lifted up into the shoulders. Creating a lot of space in the front of the belly. Let's try lifting the feet at the same time now. So we lift the shoulders, lift the shins, squeezing the heels together. 3 more to go. And notice how the elbows are bent here. So we're pulling the hands towards the hips. Last one. And exhale all the way down. So use that same technique to come into upward dog. So we loop and pull. The feet push down, the knees can lift a bit. Exhale, curl into downward dog. And then walk your hands towards your feet. Come into a ragdoll to give the arms a little rest. Hold on to opposite elbows. You can bend your knees here and sway from side to side, letting the body relax, letting the legs be strong.
but soft around the spine and belly. And continue to deepen the breath through the nose. And then walk the hands forward again, downward dog. Spreading the fingers wide, we'll bend the knees and push the hips back. So fingers are spreading almost as wide as possible, so you can really press through the heel of the palm with strong, straight arms. Cultivating a straight line from the arms through the spine. Let the knees go out to the sides a little bit, creating more space for the belly to press between the legs. And then start to straighten the legs a little more, see how it feels. Feel free to pedal the legs out, reaching one heel down and lifting the other, walking the dog. And then lifting your heels, come forward into plank pose. Low plank on the exhale, elbows bending, heart forward. Come all the way down. So we'll look at a different back bend on the belly now. Take your hands towards your sacrum. So you have your lumbar curve, that's the super curvy part. Below that is your sacrum, near the tops of the buttocks. You can place the hands there and then lift your shoulders away from the floor. With the legs together, lift your legs away from the floor and hold for a few breaths. Strong in the upper back. Exhale, coming down. Good, second variation. Inhale, lift the legs and heart, and then bring that left arm forward. Exhale, lowering down, hand to sacrum. Inhale, right arm forwards. Exhale, lowering, hand to sacrum, and continue. Inhale, left arm forward. Try to have your thumb up. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, right arm forward. Exhale, back to center. And we'll start adding to it. Inhale, left arm up. Opposite leg comes up. Exhale, down. Inhale, right arm up. Opposite leg up. Exhale, down. Continue a few more at your own pace. Just a really great posture to strengthen the entire back line of the body. From the back of the legs, through the back of the spine and shoulder. And notice how the arm is reaching forwards by the ear. So that's one of those overhead range back bends. Good. Now keep both legs on the floor this time. Both arms forward, thumbs up, palms face each other. There is the option to keep your forehead on the ground and only lift the arms. Second phase, push the hips into the floor and lift the heart. And hold the posture. Try to keep the elbows straight, palms facing each other. And exhale all the way down. Very good. Push back into puppy stretch, sitting towards your heels, arms forward. You can tuck your toes under and drop the tail, rounding the back. And I'll just hang out here and relax a little bit. Notice how the arms are still by the ears, so they're still in that overhead range of motion. Try to keep your shoulder blades spreading apart. And then explore letting the shoulder blades lift up to the ears. And then walk the hands in. And set up a table position with the hands underneath the shoulders, knees below hips. Exhale to connect with the core, and then lift your knees off the ground. From there, we're going to push the hips back, just like a down dog with the knees bent. And then come forward, shoulders over the wrists. Stay with the core the whole time. Knees wide, hips back. And then come forward, shoulders over wrists. 3 more to go at your own pace. Going in and out of that overhead range as we bend the knees. And then step forward towards your hands. Take an inhalation to lift the heart halfway. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back or take a strap between the hands. So you can have the hands apart with the strap and then squeeze your shoulder blades, taking 5 breaths in the forward fold. Pull through the arms. And then setting the strap aside, take the hands to the floor past your feet, and with an inhale, come up halfway, lifting the chin. Exhale, head to knees, folding in. Bend the knees, inhale all the way up to standing, drawing a big sun with the arms. And then exhale, arms at sides in mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms forwards. Exhale, fold, reaching past the feet. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, step to plank pose. I'm going to hold this plank 1 breath and then go direct into low plank. There is the option to lower the knees and the hips. Inhale, pull back, cobra, moving into up dog. Exhale from the core, downward facing dog. And we'll hold for 5 breaths. You can work the inner spiral of your thighs. And notice the effect of that. As the inner thighs flow back, maybe you can get a bit more length in the belly. A bit more space between the pubic bone and the heart. And try to work that external rotation of the shoulder by scrubbing the hands away from each other. So if you're not sure what I mean, feel free to look forward. This is me in down dog, and I'm scrubbing the hands away like that. And then find that counterbalance of pushing into the index finger and making your arms as long as possible. So 1 more breath there. And then lifting the heels as high as possible. With your next exhale, bend your knees and look between your hands. Jump or step. And then inhale to look up halfway. Exhale, fold, bowing the head in. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, lifting the arms. And exhale, arms at sides. And repeat that again. Inhale, lift the arms, reach forwards. Exhale, fold, hands to shins, or touch the floor, bending your knees a bit more. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, hold the plank. Take a breath there. Come forward on the exhale, strong core, heart leads the way. Inhale, cobra to up dog. Exhale, curl up to down dog. And breathe. 5 breaths, holding the posture again. So once you create that space in the front of the belly, start incorporating a bit more abdominal core strength. If you really stretch your exhale, make your exhale longer, that'll help you connect with that core strength. So the abs are supporting the low back, but there's still an effort to open the chest. And a few more breaths there. Then on your next exhale, lift your heels up, bend the knees out to the sides, and jump. Inhale to look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, lifting the arms.
And exhale, arms at sides, mountain pose. So you may want to place the yoga blocks near the front corners of your mat. They may come really useful in a few moments. And then we'll meet back in mountain pose, hands at the heart. With an exhale, bend your knees and reach forward. And then with heavy heels, spread the arms like wings and hang out, pulsing on the heels. So this is like almost chair pose, but we're doing it a bit different. Stick out your butt, but then tension your core at the same time, just like we did in down dog. As you pulse on the heels, see if you can feel the buttocks working. And then with an inhale, reach the arms forwards and up and hold the pose. Palms face each other. Option to look straight ahead or look between the hands. So we're working in full external rotation of the shoulder. It's quite challenging. Try to keep the weight back in the heels. And this pose is really considered to be a bit of a back bend. So we're working to neutralize the curve in the low back while lifting the arms to open the chest. Next exhale, hands to floor, fold in. Inhale, look up, step to plank. Exhale, low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Long exhale from the core, downward dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. We'll take a few breaths here. Bend your right knee and make circles in the hip joint. So you can go way out to the right and then up to the sky, awakening the buttocks. And then next exhale, step your right foot behind the hand. Step your left foot a little bit closer and angle it towards that front left corner of the mat. So about 45, 60 degrees, something like that. And then with your front knee over the ankle, drop the tail round the back. Arms out like wings, just like we did in chair. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hinge over your front thigh, working the booty. Inhale, come up. Strong upper back. Exhale, hinging. So this is really the key piece of the back bend that we're working. Strong supportive legs with a thoracic spine that's really involved with the back bend. 2 more to go. Good. And then inhaling, reach the arms up, palms face each other, and breathe. Option to look straight ahead, keeping the arms shoulder width. The next phase is taking the shoulders forward, press the hands together, and lift the chin behind the arms, gazing at the thumbs. Feel free to stay in that first phase. And then with your next exhale, take the hands to yoga blocks beside your foot or use the floor. Inhale, lift the heart and straighten the right leg. Exhale, head towards the knee. Again, inhale, lift the heart. Option to lift the chin at the end. Exhale, fold, head towards the knee. Do about 3 more of those on your own, moving with your breath. Part of the benefit of using blocks or using your fingertips is that you're making your arms longer to help get more of a back bend, to help lift the heart more. Then go ahead and fold forward over that right leg and breathe. Holding the pose for a bit. As you're in this posture, think of that left hip hiking up, turning in. Right hip pulling back, squeezing the heels towards each other. Next inhalation, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, bend your knee over the ankle and take the hands to the floor. Inhale to high plank, stepping back. Exhale, forwards with the heart, low plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, from the core, downward dog. Take a breath in to lift your left leg, bend the knee. And we'll take a few breaths here. Big circles in the left hip joint. Turning the hips out to that left side. Turning the pelvis.
And then step your left foot behind your hand, right foot a little bit closer, and then angle it towards the front right corner of the mat. So we have that 45, 60 degree angle or so, allowing for inward rotation in the right leg. And then bend your left knee over the ankle. Spread the arms like wings, engaging the upper back. Take an exhale to awaken the core and root the heel. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hinging. Try to keep the chest open, squeezing between shoulder blades. Inhale, come up. This is like the real zest of Warrior One. Exhale, hinging. Keep on going. Good, and then inhale, come up. Raise the arms to the sky so you can look straight ahead with the palms facing each other. Option 2, lift chin behind arms, joining the hands. And breathe. Next exhale, take the hands to the yoga blocks, about shoulder width apart, just in front of the foot, and then straighten your left leg, toning the quadriceps. Really spread out through your left toes. And with an inhale, lift the heart, straightening the arms. Exhale, pull back through the left hip, folding over. Again, inhale. Think of the right hip turning in and hiking up. Exhale, fold over your left leg. A few more of those movements. And the back leg is actually turning inwards, and it's working very similar to a back bend with the inward rotation. There's also some really good strengthening work in the back of that left thigh and buttock. See if you can tap into that. And then go ahead and fold forward and hold the pose. Hands on the blocks. Feel free to use the floor if you're a bit looser. But do try to keep your left leg straight with the weight shared through the heel, the ball of the foot near the big toe, and the little toe mound. Slow your breath. Next inhalation, look up. Exhale, bend the left knee and take the hands to the floor. Step back to high plank on the inhale breath, and then lead with the heart on the exhale. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, from the core, downward facing dog. Inhaling, lift the right leg and open the hip. This time we'll hold the pose. Strongly push into your right hand, lift the knee higher. From there, try going on to the tips of the right fingers, stretching the right side of your spine while shortening the left side. And then really connect to the strength of the left side body, pulling the hand and foot towards each other. Next exhale, right foot forward behind the hand, left foot about 45 degrees for Warrior One. Arms out like wings, and then come up, inhale. Raising the arms. Exhale, pause there. So with an inhale, reach straight up, about shoulder width. Now as you exhale, bend your elbows and bend the front knee a little more. Inhale, straighten the legs and reach up, opening your chest. And then exhale, bend the arms, bend the knee. And repeat that a few more times with your breath. So we're trying to keep the heart lifted instead of hinging at the hip. This is really a back bending posture. Working strongly on the thoracic spine and the squeeze of the shoulder blades as the elbows bend. Last one. So find that squeeze, bend your knee, bend your arms, hold, and think of pushing your forearms back, but aim from the fist. So instead of aiming from the elbow, aim from your fist. So now you're externally rotating fully. If you like an extra challenge, then start to hinge at your hip. You're going to have to work harder and harder between the shoulder blades. Oh my God, it's so hard. If you're already regretting your decision like me, push it or go back. It's all good. Same benefit. Oh,
Jesus. And then inhale, come all the way up, lift the arms. Whew. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. So left foot steps a little closer again, straighten both legs, and then take an inhale to loop the shoulders up and back. Pull your hands off your sacrum, and we'll take a few breaths in this pose. Squeezing shoulder blades, pull your legs in towards each other, spiraling the left leg in. And then next exhale, fold over your right leg. Try to keep it straight. If you prefer to bend the knee, go for it. It's all good. Next exhale, bend the right knee and take the hands to the yoga blocks about shoulder width apart, or you can use the floor underneath your fingertips. But again, I do recommend the yoga blocks. Straighten your arms to lift the heart, and then lean forward, lifting the left heel. From there, lift the left leg. Try to create a straight line from the lift of the leg through the spine. Push strong into your right heel, and as you spread the toes, try to share the weight through the whole foot. Extra challenge, hands to heart center. Really loading up into that right glute, especially the smaller guys. Okay, now hands to the blocks, step the left foot back, and from there we'll move into high plank. Inhale, low plank, exhale, heart leads the way. Inhale, upward dog, pull through. Exhale, from the core, downward dog. Lift your left leg on an inhale, opening the hip up, push strong into your left palm, and then start to elevate left shoulder blade to the ear, stretching up the left side. Maybe you go onto your fingertips, lifting the left palm from there. Good, 2 more breaths. Next exhale, left foot forward behind the hand, back foot in 45. Pause there, bend your knee over the ankle. Load up into the core and the glute, and then spread the arms like wings. Strong upper back, inhale, rise up with a heavy heel. And exhale. Inhale to raise the arms up, warrior 1. Exhale, cactus the arms, bending your knee. And continue. Try having your palms facing the front of the mat for this one. Inhale, reaching up. And then exhale, cactus. So it's a bit more similar to what we actually do in wheel pose as well as in downward dog. It's not actually externally rotated all the way. Notice there's a little bit of inward spin that happens. A few more vinyasas. Just slow your breath. Strong in the core. Exhale, cactus. And then press back from the forearm. No, the fist. Good. That was a quiz. That was a test. So press back from your fist, opening the chest up, bending your knee. You can stay here. This is a really good place to be. Squeeze the heels towards each other. If you'd like an extra challenge, start to carefully hinge at the hip. You're going to have to work harder to lift your arms away from the ground. Lifting mainly from the fist and then a little bit from the elbow. Mainly from the fist. Strong between the blades. Inhale all the way up, lift the arms. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Feel free to grab your strap, and we'll step the right foot in a little bit closer. So it's kind of like a revolved triangle or Parsvottanasana stance. Think of that left hip moving back, right leg spiraling in, just like a back bend. And we'll take a few breaths here, looping the shoulders up and back. Low belly sucks in a little, chest puffs up. On your next exhale, fold over your left leg, toning the quads. And breathe.
And then taking the hands to the floor or yoga blocks, a little bit past your foot. Push off your right toes, bend your left knee over the ankle to start, and then right leg up. Maybe work towards a straighter leg as the heart keeps lifting. And breathe. The softer the touch on the fingers, the more strength is going to be demanded of that left leg. So keep on pushing into the ball of the foot to maintain that neutral hip position. Meanwhile, the right leg is lifting, yet squeezing into the center line, working the inner thigh muscles of that right leg. Option to bring hands to heart for an extra challenge. It's already pretty hard if you ask me. And then slowly lower your hands, step the right foot back, high plank on an inhale breath, and then low plank on an exhale breath. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg, bend the knee. Exhale, step your right foot forward. We'll turn the left foot towards the left side of the mat now. You could slide one of your blocks just outside of your heel. And then with your knee bent, open up to warrior two. So open the arms. Feel free to slide the left foot a little further back. Good. And then with an inhale, stretch your wrists, straighten the legs. Exhale, warrior two, bending the knee. And repeat that a few times. Inhale, think about drawing the breath up into the ribs, just like pulling on a big pair of pants. Exhale, bend the knees. Again, inhale, pull up the trousers, lift the arms. Exhale, warrior two. Last one. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, warrior two. Bend the knee and take the right hand to the yoga block outside of your leg, somewhere below your shoulder. And then left arm's going to reach towards the floor and then forward by the ear. So make some circles from there, just exploring that range of motion. Even though we're tipped sideways, this is still working on the overhead range for the left shoulder. So this is really your wheel pose training. Next time you go by the ear, pause there. Draw the core of the body in towards the spine. Maybe bend the front knee a little more, but keep the back leg straight. Slight tuck of the chin. Keep lifting your heart to your chin. And breathe. Come back to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, pause, straightening the front leg. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, wide-legged triangle. Take the right hand to the yoga block. You might need to adjust the height a bit. Left arm up. And as you push into that hand, there's a suggestion to contract the right side of the core to help lengthen the left side body. As that top arm reaches up, think of slightly retracting the shoulder blade to the middle of the back. Exhaling, look down, bend the right knee again. Warrior two on the inhale, coming up. Exhale, step a little closer with your left foot. Sorry, I'm having a wardrobe malfunction here. Nothing too graphic though. And then think about like a kung fu stance. So I call this the kung fu warrior. Prepare for battle with the left hand. Now as you exhale, we're going to lift the pubic bone, but keep the heart up. So exhale, lift the pubic bone, and then drive forward at the left hip. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. Oh, sound effects are encouraged. Inhale. We want to avoid hinging in this movement. We're trying to lift the pubic bone, bending the back knee. So do a few more at your own pace. Oh. Ujjayi breathing is very similar to that sound, but with the mouth closed. Last one. And then exhale. Keep going, hovering your knee. Left arm outside the leg, hands to prayer. Option two, take your left hand to the floor, top arm up, and breathe in the twisted variation. Press your arm and leg into each other and try to open up your right chest. Squeezing the right shoulder blade to the middle back this time.
So notice it's the opposite of triangle. Exhale, look down, lowering your hand. Drop the left knee, slide it back. Take a yoga block by your right hand, and we'll move into the king pigeon. So right foot near the left edge of the mat, bring your shin to the floor, and then you take a block and you put it underneath the right buttock. And then we can push the buttock down into the block and create a rebounding force that goes way up the spine. The left leg is turning inwards, whoa, just like Kung Fu Warrior. This is a really good place to stay. You can try to pull your heel in towards your pelvis as part of that Kung Fu Warrior, squeezing the legs towards each other. If you like other variations, you could try catching your foot with your hands. I'm gonna get a little fancy and take a yoga strap around my foot. So it's a little weird to set it up, but you get it just underneath the top of the foot and then drive the hips forward again. You want to have a pretty long strap for this one. I'm going to pull up with one hand and then bring the elbow by the ear. From there, I'm starting to reach up a little more, taking it with the other hand as well. Keep those elbows in by the ears so you're working on external rotation, contracting the abdomen as it lengthens. And it's totally fine to remain in that first variation with the back leg straight as well. Very similar benefits. Just have to use your imagination a little bit more. And then with a strong core, let go. Very good. Slide the block off to the side and then step to plank on an inhalation. Exhale, low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale from the core, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up, open the hip. Exhale, left foot forward. Right foot turns out to the right side with the heels roughly on the same track. You can take that yoga block and slide it outside your left heel. Inhale up to warrior two position, fully straightening the back leg. On your next inhale, lift the arms, straighten the leg. Exhale, warrior two. Again, inhale, reaching up. Warrior two, exhale. Do a few more vinyasas at your own pace. Lifting the ribs, yet also supporting the lower back by using the abdominals and the strength in the back of the legs. And how do we strengthen the back of the legs? We can do a few things. We can pull the heels towards each other, and it's as if you're trying to kick yourself in the bum with your own heel, which gets the hamstrings to activate. Good, then we'll come into the warrior two stance. And on your next exhale, left hand comes down to the yoga block, just underneath your shoulder. Right arm forwards to the floor and then up by the ear. Big circular movements in that right shoulder. Back leg totally straight. Slight tuck of the chin, take that right arm forward and pause. So we're reaching out through the fingertips, working in the external rotation while rooting through the back heel, fully straightening the leg and firming in the buttocks. You could be engaging both sides of your core here for extra support. Especially if you have scoliosis, you'd want to do it that way. So even though I'm lengthening my tight side with scoliosis, I'm still contracting it as it lengthens. And then inhale, come up to warrior two. Exhale, straighten the legs. Take a breath in to lift the arms. And then exhale, wide-legged triangle. Left hand down, top arm up. Retracting the right scapula while reaching out through the fingertips. And breathe deeply. Same principles as the last posture, even with the legs straight. Next exhale, bend your knee and look down. Inhale, warrior two stance. And then from there we'll step that right foot closer and then prepare for Kung Fu Warrior. So get that right hand ready for battle. There it is. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the pubic bone. Bend the back knee to hover. Again, inhale, prepare. Exhale, driving forward from the forearm. Keep on going. Then as you drive at the hip, really contract the buttock and core together. That's going to help you move the stretch of the pose into the front of the right hip, which is the same target area for most back bending postures. Is anybody else making sound effects? Show of hands, a few people. And then keep on going this time. Hover your knee, take your arm outside of your leg. Hands to prayer, option 1. Option 2, touch the floor on either side of the foot. Top arm up, squeezing shoulder blade to middle back in any of these variations. The shoulder blade of the bottom arm is reaching towards the ground, spreading out, but the top arm squeezes in, helping with that twisting action. Next exhale, look down. And you can drop your right knee, slide it back a bit. Walk your left foot over to the right side of the mat. Okay, and then we'll go on to the outside of the shin. Take a yoga block underneath the left buttock. If you have a strap, you can keep it handy. It'll be very helpful in a moment. But we'll start by just really connecting to the foundation, so the inner spiral of the right leg. Toes tucked under, legs straight. So we drive the right hip forward while pulling the left hip back. This is a great place to stay. Use your buttocks and core and see if you can find a stretch in the front of your right hip. Awesome place to stay. Okay, option 2, use your hand to reach back for the foot, or you can use a strap like me. So I'm going to place it under the top of the foot, the same region that you push down in up dog. I'm holding an edge of the strap in each hand. And from there I'm going to use that ninja hip technique, driving the right hip forward, pulling the left heel in. And I'll bring one arm up first. You have to adjust the block a little bit as you go. If you can anchor your buttock down, it'll just keep you a bit more still. But there is the option to fully lift off the block if you're really squeezing the center line. Keep your core strong as you explore. Drawing those front ribs in, even though it looks like more of a back bend. And explore kicking the foot into the hands to open the chest more, but make sure your lower back is feeling good. A few more breaths here. Elbows are drawing in and then up to the sky. And then keep pushing your right hip forward and just let go of the strap as you exhale. Slingshot the foot. Safest way to come out. Nice. And then release the pose. Take that strap off to the side. Inhaling, step back to high plank. Exhale, lay down onto the belly. Bring your heels together, knees wide apart. So hands-free bow pose. Lift the arms like cactus branches, knees apart, and lift everything up, holding the posture. Strong in the upper back, strong in the buttocks as the heels squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Feel free to drop your knees to the floor for a moment and set up one yoga block on each side. Make the arms longer, and then we'll meet in downward dog. Lift the right leg on an inhale, opening the hip. Exhale, right foot behind the hand. Fold the left edge over or use a cushion or pillow. Couch cushions work really great if you're at home. From there, we'll walk that right foot forward a little bit more. And notice my pelvis. My right foot goes forward. Now my pelvis is past this back knee. I can really get into stretching my hip now. So let's take a breath in here, bending the front knee like a squat. You're going to track it out to the little toe. Now as you exhale, reverse the movement, straightening your front leg. Inhale, bend the knee like a squat. Exhale, reverse the movement. Try to keep your back straight. Option to fold after that. Inhale, bend the knee, keep going. Exhale, reverse the movement. So if you like an extra challenge, inhale, arms out as you bend the knee. Exhale, forearms together. Inhale, arms out, open up. Exhale, forearms together. Last one. Inhale, open up. So this time we're going to slightly reverse the bend of the knee so it's more over the ankle. And then pause there, pushing your forearms together. This is a great place to stay. Phase 2, lift the arms straight, palms together. Phase 3, reach the hands below the neck, elbows in. Great place to stay. Phase 4, you start to lean back a little bit more, pushing off the heel, the leg straightens a bit, reaching towards the back foot. That's a more advanced variation, but they're all based on the same principles, contracting the abdomen as it lengthens. Use your core to come up. And then we'll lean back for the half split or full split. So you can use the blocks and straighten your spine hanging out here. If you'd like to work with the full split, you can slide that right foot forward and think of using the back bending connections. Using the blocks, you can support yourself a bit, rolling the arm bones back. And then pushing into the blocks, round your back and pull the heel in. Step back to plank. Exhale to low plank. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a few breaths. Inner thighs flow back. Next inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, left foot behind the hand. Right edge can fold over for generous padding. And cushions are great, blankets are great, folded up anything is great. And then going on that high setting of the blocks, take your left ankle forward so that the pelvis goes beyond your right knee. As you inhale, bend your front knee as much as you can comfortably. It can go past the ankle. And then exhale, straighten the leg, hinging at the hip. Inhale, bend the knee, pushing that right hip forward. Exhale from the core, leaning back. Option to fold. Inhale, bend the knee, use the blocks or spread the arms for an extra challenge. Exhale, forearms together. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, reversing the bend of the knee. And a few more vinyasas at your own pace. Last one, so we'll bend the front knee as much as you can. And then exhaling, slightly reverse the bend of the knee, pushing into the heel, buttock is active. Okay, press the forearms together, great place to stay. Phase 2, straighten the arms, palms together. Phase 3, reach the hands down the neck, but keep your elbows squeezing in and keep driving that right hip forward. Cool. The next phase from there is starting to lean back a bit. Tension the core, gradually straightening the front leg more. And then come up. Half split. Hands to the yoga blocks. Take an inhale, straightening the front leg as much as you can. You can stay upright or fold. And if you're working with the full split, you would slide the left heel past your mat, wiggle the right knee back a little. So you're trying to move into more of a back bend. And that can give you a lot more freedom to explore the pose. And if you find it really impossible to breathe in the back bends, that probably means you're doing it properly. Because you're contracting your abs, which work in opposition to the diaphragm. The diaphragm being the engine of breathing, so the breath can be really, really shallow in back bends, and that can actually be a really great way to protect your spine instead of deep breathing. And then we'll pull the heels in towards each other. Whoa. Step back to plank pose, undoing the folds. Exhale to low plank. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. And then bring the legs out in front. And we'll come into bridge posture with the feet about hip width. Roll the shoulders back into the floor. And then honor the natural curve of your lumbar spine initially. So you can lift the hips and scoop the tail under as you do it. Taking 5 in bridge. Exhale, come down, and then repeat. If you're comfortable with wheel pose, take the hands underneath your shoulders. So again, we try to squeeze the elbows in, just like the pigeon, just like the lunge variation, and then push through the palms, lifting the hips and the heart. If your shoulders need to turn in a little bit, that's totally fine. That's how I do it too. Let's see how it feels in your body. A lot of times we're looking for like really clear right or wrongs, and they just don't exist. You'd have to listen to your body. The experience will show you. Exhale, come all the way down. And then you're welcome to do one more back bend of choice. I'm going to demonstrate how to do wheel with props for those of you that are having trouble getting up. So I'm going to set up my blocks right against the edge of a wall. And I have this little divot here where the paneling is meeting the wall, so that's where I hook the edge of the block on. And it's actually quite nice. You place the head between the blocks, push the hands into the blocks. You might have to scoop back a little closer to the wall so you can get your palms down all the way. And then same principles, we lift the hips, push through the heel of the palm, and come all the way up. This makes it a lot easier to lift, even though it looks kind of crazy. If you do have a really comfortable back bend, you might explore straightening the legs a little bit, either in this wall variation or in your standard wheel pose. And notice how that sends the heart over the hands more. On your next exhale, bend the elbows, lower the head. Tuck the chin, coming all the way down onto the back, and then windshield wiper the legs side to side, releasing into the back. Windshield wiper both knees to the left side and hold. Feet as wide as the mat. From there you can hook your left ankle on the outside of the right thigh, using it to press the right thigh bone towards the floor, and just a little bit of effort is key. And then come across center, we'll go to the other side, lowering both knees towards the right. Start with your feet as wide as the mat, and then right ankle on the outside of the left thigh, using the ankle to help that inward spin of the left thigh. And then come back to center, drawing the knees in towards the shoulders. Happy baby pose. The sacrum can press down as you draw the knees in, or you can explore allowing the sacrum and the hips to come up more, rolling back over the shoulders even towards a happy plow pose. And then go ahead and roll up into a squat. Bend your knees. You may take a few tries to rock up, or you can use your hands to help yourself up. And then we'll take the feet a little wider than hip width, angling the feet out. Squat as low as you can. Good. And then from there, we'll bring the fists together. And as you press your right arm against the inner leg, turn your left chest open. Back to center on an inhale. Exhale, turn open. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn open, and pause. From there, there's the option to straighten the arms up to the sky, Or turn the shoulders in to bind, holding the left hand, maybe the wrist. And squeeze the left shoulder blade to the middle of the back. And even this squatting twist can help with your thoracic mobility. Twisting poses are really helpful for developing that often underused range of motion around the upper back. And then come back to center, hands together again. Left arm against the inner leg, right chest open. Inhale, center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Feel free to pull the fists apart even. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. And once more, inhale, center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Feel free to lift the right arm. Stay there or bind, turning the shoulders in, catching right fingers or wrists. And breathe. And then come back to the center. Then bring the legs out in front. Wide-legged split. Root down through the buttocks, taking the legs wide. Arms out like wings, take a breath in. Exhale, pull your heels in towards your pelvis and hinge at your hips a bit. Inhale, come up. And repeat. Exhale, hinging. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinging. You can hold this for an extra challenge, or relax, taking the arms to the floor or hands to feet. And then inhale, come all the way up. We'll do one last posture each side. Fold your left foot in, and then bring your right leg over top. Half lower to the fish's twist. Take an inhale, left hand to right knee. Exhale, twisting, just like you did in the squat. Look over that right shoulder. Meanwhile, you can pull back with the left arm. There's also the option to bind with your arm outside the leg, pressing the arm and leg into each other, or even sliding the arm underneath the knee. And then inhale back to center, and then letting go. We'll switch legs. So you could do a spin move to your left. It's pretty cool. Sometimes it works. And then magically left leg is theoretically on top, and right hand outside that knee. So left leg on top, twist to your left, gazing over the shoulder. And you can press that arm and leg into each other with the option of binding as well. Inhale back to center. Let go of the pose, and we'll make our way into resting. So I'm going to use some yoga blocks for my resting pose today. One of my favorite passive back bends, supported fish with one block between the shoulder blades and a second one at the back of the head. So feel free to do this one. If you're feeling a little sore in the lower back, I might recommend a different posture, which is the supported bridge pose. In that variation, you would instead bend your knees just like a bridge, and then place a yoga block underneath your sacrum. You could start at the lower height and then try the next height up. The sacrum is that area at the back of the pant line. It's below the lumbar curve, so you may have to tuck your tail a bit to create extra length around the sacrum region where it meets the bottom of the lumbar. And then from there you can bring your feet wide apart, straightening the legs. Explore gentle tension in the core for a moment, just to get comfortable. And then try to relax the body as much as you can. And if you'd like to do some other restorative posture, you're welcome to do whatever feels right for your body.
You're welcome to stay in your resting pose as long as you wish, or come out at any time for classical Shavasana. I'll leave you to finish up on your own today. Our time is up, so thank you very much for joining. I've kept you a few minutes past the hour. Hope you enjoyed yourself, and feel free to reach out with any questions or comments or anything at all. Thanks, everybody.